Cockerel Doodle Doo, everyone. Welcome back to Tottenham on Tour, the world-famous home of Levy Out. We're going to have a light-hearted show this morning, or recording, whatever you want to call it. I'm joined by Mr. Daigle himself, as usual, but we're joined by Mr. Jack, and we're finally debuting the mustard wall itself. And Alan's here as well, but most importantly, mustard wall.
Ben, you're right. That's it. That's what we've been waiting for. It's not been Alan. It's been the mustard wall. It's it is finally there in all its glory. God. Yeah, very quickly, Jack. How are you, brother?
I'm good, thank you. How are you, Brian and Ben?
All good, mate. It's Thanksgiving here in Canada, so it's a holiday here today. So it's been a very relaxed day today. I've done a lot of sleeping. I've caught up on all my sleep, thank God. Alan, brother, debut. How are you in the mustard wall?
Don't come at me asking my feelings when you just told me you're here for the mustard wall. Like everyone. Look, I'm really well. Obviously, thank you for making this happen. Finally on Tottenham on Tour. Been trying to get on here for some time, and it's finally happened. Hope you're doing well, Brian. Back in Toronto, is it Toronto? Or
it is indeed.
Hope you're doing well, my friend. Obviously, Jack, I know. My channel and the Cough, I've done many shows with him as well. So good.
And I have to say, before I give it back to Ben, you wonder why I wanted to know about the mustard wall when you go, Toronto, is it? When you've heard me say Toronto so many times.
It's in your Twitter bio.
Exactly. It's in my Twitter bio as well. The mustard wall knew where I was from.
Yeah.
You, not so much. But Ben, I'll hand it back over to you, brother.
Before we go on to the main part of the show, we've got housekeeping to do. We have launched our new merch store, which is www.tottenhamontour.com, and we're going to share the screen just so we can show what we're doing on the website. We've got some new merch, which we've got right here, which you can choose all shapes and sizes and different colors. We got the Mickey Van the Defend shirt. We got We Never Stop, the main Tottenham on Tour t-shirt, hoodies. We've got loads of new designs coming very, very soon. We've got beanies, we got caps, all the things you might possibly want. So become an on-tourian and get some lovely merch. And
I have to say on that, Ben, just one final thing for people to realise. It is coming very, very soon. The photos have been taken. The fingers and a certain phrase is going to be a T-shirt very, very soon. So look out for that one.
That's going to be a big seller indeed. But I've got a couple of bits of news. So Tottenham have appointed a new technical director. I don't know what this is fully. I don't know if it's full football yet, but we can bring up using the share screen feature.
Look at the professional outfit we're becoming.
Yeah, we're becoming incredibly professional.
An upgrade in budget.
Big time, bro.
And on TottenhamHotspur.com, we have appointed Julian Lang as our technical director with immediate effect. It's all going into the technical director's role. But let's start with Jack. What do you think about this news of a new technical director, and what do you think he's going to be looking at first of all?
I'll be honest with you. I haven't really got a clue. I saw a tweet on this, but I've been at work all day and I went straight to the gym. I don't know a lot about him. Didn't someone say he re-signed Langley twice or something like that? So that will be interesting. I mean, look, anything that keeps Levy off transfers is good. How better he is to Paratici or who was the other one? Who was the other guy?
We've had many. Camoli,
Gabbiadini.
Gabbiadini.
Okay, how good he is compared to those two. I did see somewhere that they were keeping Paratici on still. I'm not sure if that's.
He's advising.
Look, appointments like these, it's like you have to kind of wait to see what actually happens. You can't. Look, you can obviously make prejudgment based on previous signings, but each club is different. Each philosophy, every club, wants to buy different things. So I think we've just got to wait. If it's what Andrew wants, and Scott Mann wants, then look, you've got to back him, I guess. See what happens. Hopefully,
on this news, Alan, what's your take on this?
So similar to Jack. I mean, I've never heard of the bloke, so I've had to do some research or have to look into it. From what I've seen, he's very good with the data analysis approach, obviously youngsters and all that. So tying into what we want to do for obviously what's happened in the pre-season, the transfer window to get to the signings we've had under Ange. So it looks like they're trying to go in the same direction from what they're doing from the youth set up to the people in charge of hiring in the first team. So it seems to sync up, which is fine. But does it make me go, oh, this is great, an earth-shattering, groundbreaking moment? No. It's very, very, for me, I saw the name, I was like, I don't care. But like Jack said, only time will tell whether this is a good appointment. I was more than happy with Gabanini and what he was doing. And obviously, that was, sorted out by Scott Mann when he came in. So only time will tell as to how this appointment happens. But I don't think you've ever really had anyone have massive success in this role for a long period of time or long sustainable time. So we'll see how it goes. But they've got the person they've wanted. So hopefully it will just kick us on and it'll be the next step in, growing this project that Spurs are doing and doing quite well at the moment because topping all the leagues. So hopefully it's another piece of the right jigsaw moving Spurs forward.
Absolutely. And what do you think about this, Aki? What do you think?
I tell you what, Ben, let's remove the statement now so we can see all four of us in. I don't know if people want to see all four of us in that much high definition. Yeah, but listen, Jack mentioned, and I forgot about that, a certain player you and I aren't very, very fond of, and thankfully he's at Villa and long may he stay. But you have to look at the other players he bought in. He bought in Pau Torres, Diaby. I've just gone on now. He also was very instrumental between Bundia from Norwich, who's a player I really, really like, Emi Martinez, Ollie Watkins.
Yeah.
So, yes, Villa made some bad signings, but recently they've been getting it bang on the money. This has come out of left field, doesn't it? It's like, right, well, we're knowing Spurs right now. We've got him. He's left Aston Villa, but we're still waiting for Scott Mann. So this guy might.
Has he not signed Scott Mann?
Say again.
Is Scott Mann not signed?
I think he has. No, I think he has started now. But look at the delay that took. So this guy might start knowing our luck in February after the January transfer window shut.
Just for context, Brian, I'm reading it on Football London. Apparently, his start date is November 1st. Is the start date.
And the same with Scott Mann when it was meant to be XYZ. So when he's listened. If that's it, listen, as we look at it, he's left Aston Villa, so there's no tie. So that date probably is right from Annie Gold. But we all know that things can change very, very rapidly. Like Jack said, anything that will keep him away from transfers, because we've got to say that Paratici had a big hand in what we've done this summer. I think it's well known the worst kept secret in football that Paratici's been behind a lot of what's been going on. If there's another man to stop a certain man doing what he does, then I'm all for it. And if we can get these kind of... Listen, those players... Buendia, I would have taken at Spurs when Villa signed him. Emi Martinez, I certainly... Not now. Vicario is king. Long live Vicario. Ollie Watkins, when we were over Richarlison.
I'll take him right now.
Yeah, exactly. Right now, look what he's doing. I mean, there's no chuck. But those kind of players, and again, it's identifying young talent, isn't it? Which is kind of the way we're going. Yeah. So I think it's a good appointment. Obviously, like Alan and Jack both said, we're going to have to wait and see what he does. And also, we're going to have to wait and see what he's given to start doing what he does.
Well, wait, can I just make a point quickly, Ben?
Go on, Jack.
Yeah, of course.
Surely he must have been promised something to be enticed away from Villa. Seeing what they're doing as well, because they're on the same trajectory as us, if not maybe better, already being in a European competition. So surely something has been promised to him, or, whether it's money or, being able to buy his first choice players or...
Yeah, it's a good point. It's a good point. Ben, what's your thoughts?
I think it's a good move. Finally, we've got a technical director of football of sorts. We've finally got the pieces of the puzzle, at least for January. The one thing I'm worried about is it's a bit late, isn't it? Because January is, what is it, 3 months away now?
Yep.
2-3 months. We should have had our technical director at the end of August to
In the
plan
summer.
January. We've got to get this started now. He's already having to, and he starts in November as well. So he's going to have 2 months to scramble for potential targets for Tottenham. I don't know if Ange has already got a list of players already to help him out with that, and Scott Mann, but we seem to not have a plan at the moment. This is a buy for not January. It's for the summer to get those plans in motion and to get those data analytics in, and hopefully he's got that scouting network up.
Maybe it's a case of, obviously we've got our targets and who we want, and he's been approached and he's got targets of who he wants, and there's similarities. That's why it's a move why he's coming so late. So maybe he's coming in January with potential. He knows what Spurs want and what he wants, and it's a match made. But like we said, this is obviously theoretical because it hasn't happened. It could just be the fact that they've gone, oh, we want him because he has the same ideology, and then we've got to then see what happens down the line. Like Ben said, it could happen in the summer. It could be a move made for January because they've both got similar interests in players that like who Ange likes. And because let's be honest, this name came out of nowhere, like Brian said. So is it just them going for, dare I say it, a cheap option? Spurs fans will come for me, or is it them going for somebody that they've been quite coy in knowing who the type of players he likes, and it matches up with what we want to do as well?
Alan, I think I'm going to add to this as well. You know what? One thing you've got to look at as well, when we say this name's come out of thin air, I can't remember the last time Spurs brought anyone in without any kind of rumours, any kind of shit brewing and people going, oh, listen, they're linked with this. This was completely kept under the radar, which is something we never, ever do. So maybe there is a change in that. And also, he's got a month off, which technically he's not officially working for Spurs, but that means he's got a month to literally talk with Ange, not officially, obviously, as a but they've got a month to say, right, this is what we're looking at, this is what we want to do, and he can start building relations. He's not going to be drowned in paperwork for a month or whatever.
He could watch the games of football, though, when we're eventually back. He could watch the games of football and see what we need.
Of course. So there's good, but I can't remember the last time. I don't know if anyone, when they watched this in the morning or anything, can think of a player that just went boom out of thin air. Oh, Manor Solomon was pretty. Manor Solomon. No,
Vicario?
Yeah, maybe.
Vicario, maybe.
That was the last
one. Bissouma was the last one.
Yeah, you're right. But normally there is a. Well, if you look at it, Paratici, heavily rumoured. When it was Baldini, heavily rumoured. Paul Mitchell, heavily. All of these appointments. Scott Munn was very under the wraps, obviously. But yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see, won't we?
Yeah, we'll have to see. If he starts doing some of the things he's done at Aston Villa, I'm very happy. I love some of the players they have.
Yeah,
Diaby's been very good for them.
Incredible, Jack.
As a footballer, Buendia, they've got some great players at Aston Villa. Get those sorts of players in.
Correct. Let's hope. Listen, we wanted some kind of connection between Ange and the man upstairs, and as many people as possible to help Ange.
Yeah,
and this could be another string to Ange's bow to have someone that knows football making footballing decisions. Yeah,
absolutely. Right, let's go on to the player ratings of the Luton game. Let's go on to it. So there's loads of arguments going on about the performance. It's been really funny seeing different streams have different opinions. That person thinks that, and this person thinks that. But now we've got a good conglomerate of Spurs YouTube channels together, and we're going to talk about it and see what happens. But we're going to start with bigger. We're going to go one by one. We're going to do it like they do on Shelf Side. We're going to do one by one. So we're going to start with you, Aki. Big Vic. Big Vic. Mario.
First of all, I have to say, well done for bringing up the vocabulary of this channel, because not in a million years would I've used the word conglomerate. So well done. I would never have found a way to use that word. We're going up. We're moving on, people.
got sharing screens and we've got the word conglomerate.
We are going places. We are going places, and we've got merchandise, Ben. Everything is going correct. Okay,
Merchandise, long words, mustard balls. We're upward project vertically.
exactly. And Jack is bringing a photo that's got green socks by the looks of it. So,
Green
so
socks.
it's all good. It's all good. We've got green socks and a mustard ball. What a combination!
That's
we should put the green
title
socks
of the
on
show.
We should put the green socks.
of the show.
There we go. So Big Vic. I'm giving him a 7. Only because he had absolutely nothing to do, but what he did well. I don't know. He could. Thank God for Watford's poor attacking prowess.
Luton.
Watford.
Luton. That's how bad. That's how
the
bad.
whole
It
of
was.
Luton.
That's how bad. That's how bad it was. Yeah. So what? I pissed off the whole of Luton. Couldn't really care. Couldn't really care. But yeah. Listen, he had not a lot to do, but what he did well, and it was another. I just honestly, what I will say is, we're playing it out from the back. We're passing it along the back 5, and whenever he's at the ball, my blood pressure and my heart rate is normal. It's not what it was when Lloris was there. So long may it continue.
Anyone else have any words to say about Big Vicario? I thought Brian summed it up perfectly well.
I'm surprised Brian went that low. I thought he was a 9 out of 10. I think I can't remember the game that well, but I think he made a few good saves in there. I mean, look, all of them are savable shots. He didn't make any outstanding saves. But as you alluded to earlier, Brian, if that was probably Lloris last year, that most of them end up in the back of the net.
Yeah.
I thought he was very good, and he has been very good since we bought him.
Absolutely. We're going to go with Colonel Mustard himself, and he's going to have the pleasure of rating Pedro Porro. What do you think of Pedro? It was a quiet game for him, wasn't it?
I don't think it was a quiet game. I think some within the fan base like a scapegoat. Like I think it's him and another player that people tend to be able to go. Now, Porro last season and his defending and all that was shocking. I think he's come on leaps and bounds so far this season. It could be just because it's Ange and we're playing teams that but even against Liverpool last week, I thought he was silky in the way he played football. Defending wise, at times we had both fullbacks caught out because we were down to 10 men. Obviously, we'll get to somebody later on about their rating. But once, they had chances, but I don't think they had a chance. They were having chances where Porro and Udogie were all at sea. I don't think that happened. Porro was doing his job and getting forward as well. If he had more nous about him in regards to attack, the player that nudged him to stop him getting a shot on target, I think he might have scored as well. I think Porro gets undue criticism for his defensive abilities, which I think is improved. I would give him a 7 for that game. I don't think he was awful. I don't think he was sensational. But I've seen people go lower than and give him a 5 or 6. I don't think it's that. 7 for me, I think, is where I saw him at for the game against Luton.
Anyone else got something to say about Mr. Porro?
I would agree. I don't think he did anything bad. I don't think he did anything amazing. I would have liked him to take that chance at the beginning of the game. And I think me and Brian have said that. I definitely said he couldn't last season defend. And there has been a few games this season, 1 or 2 at the start of the season where he has looked shaky, the ball over the top of the head. But I think the improvement has to come down to Ange and the coaching staff, to make him be able to defend, because he hasn't just magically been able to defend. Someone's obviously coached him well enough to say, hey, you need to, check your shoulder when there's a cross coming in or a ball over the top. So I think that comes down to Ange and the coaching staff, of his ability now to defend.
Big credit to them.
Yeah, I just want to add one more thing, not about the match, but put on what Alan said and Jack harped on it. I said at the start of the season when we lost to Barcelona, this guy can't defend. He cannot defend. I think he's wonderful going forward, but he can't defend. Man, was I wrong? Man, is I was giving him a lot of stick because of his defensive duties. I don't see how anyone is giving this man stick right now. I have turned around and said, I am sorry, Pedro Porro. I think he's the most improved player at Tottenham Hotspur, bar none, from the start of the season. He has been absolutely outstanding. Like Jack said, he occasionally switches off. But also, if you look at it in the first game, when he came against United, it was literally, when Emerson got a bit of grief against Brentford, it's because Ollie Skip wasn't going to cover the ground that he left.
Yeah.
Since Sarah's come in, and he has come in, Sarr does his job.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit, but defensively, Porro, you just got to look at the Arsenal game. Anyone that says he can't defend, go look at that game.
Yeah.
Game in, game out, he's improved. He is awesome. I gave him my player of the month for September. I think he's been brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah, I tend to agree with you guys. Now, Jack, we've given you the task of rating Mr. Romero, who I thought was
Easy.
Brian, I'll do a swap with you. I'll take Mickey, you take Romero.
Okay. I'll take Romero. There you go. Mate, listen, I know what Mickey got. I know his goal and everything. Romero's a 10 for me. An absolute 10. He was absolutely magnificent. If you watch Match of the Day and you see from when they did the bit on them two, from the very first minute when he is running with the ball, his confidence is back. Ange has said the whole defence is at ease because this man is giving them confidence. Yeah. This man, this season, as well with Mickey, the partnership's phenomenal. Romero was outstanding on Saturday. Absolutely, he did not put a single foot wrong. Whereas Mickey, who still, I believe, with what Jack gives him, right at the end, do you remember when he misjudged the bounce of the ball and they had that chance? He still deserves it. He made that little error, but he covered it.
Yeah.
Romero did not put a solitary foot wrong. He has been awesome this season, and he is easy a 10 for me.
Yeah, in regards to Romero, the reason why he is as amazing as he is this season and is completely transformed, Ange Postecoglou pulled a masterstroke in making him part of the leadership group, because now it's like, whereas nothing was like, he was literally a bull in a china shop. He'd go and he'd want to get in people's faces. Now he's got responsibility. You've seen him calm and literally, compared to last year, from what he was doing to this season, he looks a completely different player. And I credit Ange. I know Romero's doing it on the pitch, but Romero's got that now. I have to look after the people around me. They have to look at me for leadership and all that. And it's made him go, I need to play football rather than just... He occasionally still does the whole thing where he winds somebody up and all that, but now he is focused on his game. And my God, does he look like every bit of the player that we got from Italy that we were expecting, and then some. He's looked incredible this season.
And what you've got to add to that as well, not just Ange, it's amazing when you put quality players with quality players.
I was about to say that. He's not surrounded by crap, is he?
Yeah, compared to last season, the crap he's had to deal with for 2 years, compared to what he's got there now, in goal, that back five is probably the best back five since the famous Walker, Rose, Vertonghen, Toby, and Hugo at his prime. This five are awesome.
I did say very quickly, look, I get that argument that when you bet with better players, but also you have to take accountability for your own actions as well.
Completely.
That roles made him take accountability, and he's had extra and better players with him. So hence why you've seen him just get better and better. And look, for me, people are saying, "Oh, Saliba's been on another level," but Romero's not far off that level at all for me this season. He's been amazing. Amazing.
It's comparing one good centre back to one of the best centre backs in the league. It's not a problem. He's going to get there eventually, especially if we keep playing like this and when they eventually gel. Yeah. So I've had my role. So we're going to go, Jack. You're going to talk about you're going to talk about the man of the hour. Let's go for Mickey van der Fend. We love him on Tottenham on tour. We've even got a shirt already, and he's only
I love him.
5 minutes.
This will take me a while. Look, shoot me in the comments, but I think he's a better signing than Madison. I think he's been that.
I agree with Jack.
He's been that good.
I agree with Jack.
He's so good. He's so good. It's a joke. I was listening to the TalkSport today on the way back, and even Darren Bent, somehow the ex-Spurs player who hates Tottenham now, said that Mickey and also Saliba are the two best centre-backs in the Premier League right now, behind Diaz and Van Dijk. he's so good, and not even just this game, Luton against Liverpool. Every game this season, he's been so good. I like you said before, Brian, in previous streams. He's your newfound love. From the Tongan. Same with me. I used to love the Tongan. But I think Van der Ven is just better. He's better than the Tongan. The way
No.
Where Jack's right.
No, he is.
He's at 21. At 21-22, he's far.
He is so much better than he is. The way
than Jan was.
Oh, now
look at him.
Drama. Well, now we've got two.
Ben,
we had one hand.
Ben,
now we've got two hands. We got
you look at him. You look at him, and he's 6'4", 6'5". You'd think he'd be like he wouldn't be able to turn, or he'd be like so slow. But the way he just covers the ground, gets to Salah. Last week how he's just. I think for me, he's been our signing of the summer. He's been so good.
At his age, he's going to continue to grow. He's going to be
they also said that his stature is like Van Dijk. Like he's that tall. He's got that pace.
Yeah.
With a bit of maturity and a bit of like experience. Maybe I'm not saying that comes under us, but winning trophies. There's no reason why he can't come to that level.
Yeah.
I will say that. I'll put it out there. If that means he has to go to Madrid or another big team to win trophies and become a better centre-back and get that experience of winning trophies, then he has to. But he has the potential to be one of the best centre-backs.
Yeah.
He's got the Tottenham bug, and I will say very, very quickly, Jack is 100,000,000% right. So I'm agreeing a lot with Jack. Me and Jack are very, very aligned with things like this. We needed a left centre-back for 3-4 years, since Jan left. And yes, we needed a replacement for Ericsson, blah, blah, blah. But there was options there. There was a Lo Celso. There were other players that could have come in and played that position or whatever.
Yeah.
There was no left centre-back. There was none. None that you could trust. None that you could depend on. This guy has come in and it's done. It's shut case. But let's have people in the comments when you're watching this and afterwards. Who's the better signing? Madison or Mickey?
If I can be bothered to do it, I'll put a poll up in the chat.
Put a poll up.
Video.
But what I would say is, when we signed Madison, I feel like we knew what we were getting. We knew what the product was. Probably because we've watched him in the past. We've watched Leicester, we've watched Madison play for England. Whereas Mickey, we didn't know what we were getting unless, I'm sure there'll be some Wolfsburg experts out there. So I feel like with Mickey, we're kind of caught out surprised how good he was. Obviously, we knew he was rated. Liverpool wanted him as well. But I knew what we were getting with Madison. I knew we were getting a set-piece taker. I knew we were getting a creative midfielder. Mickey's just been, he's caught me by surprise. And I like Ben said, Brian said, I've caught the Mickey bug.
Yeah.
For me with Mickey Van Ven, so I've done a poll was it yesterday or the day before in regards to the signing of the season, for Spurs, and Madison won clearly, and Van der Ven came second. But I was thinking that for the same things, we knew what we were getting with Madison. He's obviously gone above and beyond Madison, but with Mickey Van der Ven, we were all moaning in a transfer window in the preseason how long it's taken to get defenders, what you need to sort out earlier. But my God, they took their time. But my God, did they get the right player in for Spurs, for Ange's system and everything, because the first game, he looks a bit shaky, but I put that down to nerves in the new league and all that. He looks at times a bit shaky. But since then, he has gone from strength to strength. His position, he's obviously recovery pace. He blew Gakpo out of the water in regards to pace. Gakpo is so quick. And he was like, he fancies himself every one-on-one. He fancies himself in the air. His heading can still improve. This is the thing. He's young and he can still improve. And he's already set the bar so high. I think I wouldn't say lucked onto it. I think they obviously identified because Ange wanted him at Celtic, Mickey Van der Ven, and he's got him at Spurs. So Ange knew he could play system he's not wanting. And this is why I've got so much belief that this is finally where Spurs are going to get things right, because the people Ange wants he's going to get. And if Ange wants more players to turn out like a Mickey Van der Ven, then Spurs, have the potential to kick on and actually do something serious. Just his positional play and the way him and Romero, when have you seen the Spurs back line clear a ball out for a corner and get in each other's faces and pump each other up and all that? It's literally it's no more of this, these clowns are going to make mistakes and stuff like that. They're literally we don't mess up. This is what we do. It's so unified and it's so good to see. And for me, you can argue these two are the best centre-back pairing in the league. You really could at this moment in time. They're
Correct.
both
An amazing goal as well. We haven't even mentioned his goal. His goal finish. He scores.
Yeah, it was a well taken finish. Very well adjusting his body.
Yeah, just his body opening the foot up as well to get enough power on it as well.
Yeah.
It wasn't lash it like centre defenders did. Ange actually said about him toe poking it. It wasn't even a toe poke. It was a very good finish by a defender, which normally defenders smash him into Rosette or just put their foot for it. But no.
Smash it and then scream, have it.
Exactly. But no, I think he's been sensational for Spurs this season. I really do.
Great stuff. Great stuff. And now, Alan, you've got the task of rating.
No, you've got the task, Ben.
Yeah, Ben, you take. I would be very biased. I think Udogie's amazing. I would literally just.
It's Alan then. We need the positive vibes.
Yeah. No, you take Udogie and then I'll just bring extra positive.
He'll embellish.
Yeah.
God, where'd I pull that word up?
Yeah. It was a quieter game for Udogie. He wasn't at his pomp this game. It was a difficult performance playing against one of the quickest wingers in the Premier League. I think it's actually the quickest.
He is. Quickest player in the Premier League.
Yeah. So he had his work cut for him. But again, he didn't get any silly yellow cards, and he's maturing game by game by game. He defended very, very well. He needs to do better going forward. He needs to be more of an outlet going forward, but he didn't really get the chance because we were a man down, because the man we're going to talk about in a couple of things. I might take the thing for the man we're going to talk about in a couple of people's goes.
Yeah, you do that.
But I think he looks really, really good. And I like where he's going. He's had attacking games. He's had defensive games. He's slowly moulding into being a very, very good left back. And he's got called up for the national team as well for Italy. So a massive congratulations. Congratulazione, as they would say, for Mr. Destiny for getting a rightful position in that Italian team, because he was brilliant at Udinese last year. And now he's proven how good he can be at Tottenham as well. So hopefully he can do well for the Italian national team. And it's good to see Tottenham players play for Italy. And long may it continue. We got two of them. So it's great.
Correct. So what was your rating? You didn't give your rating.
I'll give him a 7 out of 10. I'll give him that. He could be better. Actually, no, I'll give him a 6. I'll
No.
Oh no.
Sorry. No. Look, I understand he was against a powerful the winger, the quick winger and all that. But let's be honest, he came in to play the winger for Luton when we were down to 10 men. Before that, he wasn't really much in the game. Udogie was doing bits on him, literally keeping him locked out the game for the first part. And when we were down to 10 men, that's when they had the joy, because we became narrow. So that's where they had their joy down the wings. Yeah. This boy, I think for 15 million, we got him. And now look, he's had tough games against Saka. That first half, he was unsure. But he got better as game went on, so much so that they then had to go down the other side, Arsenal, because they weren't going near him. Because, he was never, as soon as he got himself sorted in the game, literally, Arsenal were like, go away from Saka. We had no fear of him getting a card because they had to go down the other end. Same with Liverpool. Going against Salah, he had a bit of a sticky time and he got better as the game went on. His defensive prowess, like his strength and all that, he looks composed. Going forward in attack, I believe with you, I think he can improve. I think Porro's finds it easier to get into attack more than he does. But sometimes I've seen in the game where he gets himself into that position and he's not used. So maybe it's a thing where they've got to get more confidence in him. But everything that he's asked to do for a youngster in a new league, I think he's done it in abundance. I think, look, it's very rare that I say this about a Tottenham back line, but I'm so actually, I'm not going to jinx it. I'm not going to do it. I stopped myself.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, I stopped myself. But look, I just think he's, in this game, I'd say a 7. I wouldn't go as high as an 8 because obviously I'd take in the game overall in the second half when we were they were having quite a bit of joy down that side as well as the other side. But yeah, so I'd stick with a 7. But I just think he's a sensational find. And again, another signing that we've got right for this manager. I know he's bought before, but it's the right, like I said with Poch, he was the right manager at the right time, the right players. And it feels like it's being done again. The right manager, the right time with the right players. long may it continue. But I think Udogie was good in this game, and I think he's been class overall.
What are you rating him?
7. I'd give him a 7.
We've completely forgotten the ratings on this show.
Yeah.
Who cares? Who cares? But Aki, you've got the pleasure of writing Pape
Mate, this guy, I think a lot of people have underestimated just how good he was on Saturday. Yes, he gave the ball away sloppily a couple of times, but this boy that Johnny and I and others have been waxing lyrical about since last season and wanted to see in the team, especially after the Milan game. I think in the North London derby last season when we lost 2-0, he's the only player that could come off with any with his head held high. He came from Manchester United and he's been brilliant. He was playing very well, and then obviously Bissouma got sent off, who he calls his big brother. And it was a big test for him to do the work. Obviously, Højbjerg was there as well. This guy covers so much grass and stops so many attacks. And even just before he got substituted, he is still bags of energy running up and down that line. I think a lot of people were looking at, obviously, a lot of people look at, he's giving the ball away there, he's giving the ball away here. But this is what you're going to do with Ange football. We're trying to be attacking, we're trying to be progressive, we're trying to be on the front foot, and sometimes these balls aren't going to work. For me, he's getting an 8. I think he was absolutely brilliant. And I always say, you realise how much you miss a player when they're gone. And during January, all right, Bentancur's back. Yeah, we are going to miss this kid. We are going to miss this kid big time. And he gets an 8 from me.
I think on Saturday he was probably our most underrated player, and I spoke to Johnny, a regular guest on this show. I spoke to him, and he asked me who I thought man of the match was, and I said, apart from Mickey, obviously, I think Sarr was probably second. I think he was so underrated in that game. Probably should have or could have won man of the match. Johnny even said himself, you wouldn't believe he's 20 or however old he is. The way he plays is so mature. I love him personally. And what I actually said to Johnny as well is what is criminal is how Conte overlooked him the whole of last season.
Yeah.
Like, you'd think of a top manager like Conte, someone who's won more than Ange, who's been at bigger clubs than Ange, you'd think like someone would have told him. Yeah.
Real quality. I'm going to open it to the panel for the next guy because
I wonder who this could be.
We're going to talk about Yves Bissouma.
Jack's left in protest. Doesn't want to talk guys back.
I thought this guy's performance at the weekend was embarrassing. I think he's got to really look at himself in the mirror for that performance. 2 idiotic yellow cards. I was going at Diego Jota or Diogo, whatever, Jota at Liverpool the other day for getting 2 silly yellow cards that quickly. Bissouma done exactly the same thing. So I'm going to give him the same 2 barrels. You don't do that. Frankly, he cheated. It's
embarrassing. It's embarrassing. It's not.
He tried to cheat against Luton Town. I don't want to disrespect Luton Town. I mean, Brian's already upset the airport already. But I don't want to disrespect Luton.
You know what, Ben? I wouldn't care if he got... I mean, I would care. But you know what? Fair enough if he made a bad challenge to get a second yellow. It's just the fact that he had to dive to get it. Fair enough if you do a bad challenge or whatever, mistime something. But it's the fact that he didn't even do anything to get he literally fell over air.
To get absolutely against Luton Town, it's
disgraceful.
He should be able to manhandle him on his own.
Who was it? Who was it who said? Who was it who said on here? It might have been you or Johnny or someone that said we need him to get a yellow card against Luton, so he misses. Was it you?
Yeah.
Who missed? Yeah. And I remember I put in one of my WhatsApp chat.
Get another one now.
Yeah, and I put my WhatsApp chat. Thank God, yes, he's got a yellow card. He's missing Fulham, so he's back for Palace. Yeah, and he's now missing Fulham, and now he could miss Chelsea
if he gets the yellow Palace. Yeah. Exactly.
So we all look like an absolute idiot saying that now. Yeah, I don't know what was going through his head, honestly.
The thing that annoys, the
Yeah.
thing that annoys me more is that he was actually obviously just doing Bissouma things before that. He was having a really good game, but then a silly yellow card. And like you said, it's the fact that he's then dived, and I call rival football players out. I will do the same for that's just I
Yeah.
find it graceful. It wasn't even a good attempt at
it was.
It was just literally I don't know. It was weird, but we're going to miss him for the Fulham game. And then, like you say, there could be double where he comes back for Palace and then has to miss Chelsea.
Yes.
He's been one of our players in the season, but this game to do
He's got to
that,
do his best behaviour.
yeah, it's not good enough. It's not good enough for him as a player or for us as a club.
Any player, though, any player to do that, I think now is just...
Like
you said, Alan. Like Alan said, we call out other players when they do it and do. You know, why shouldn't we do it to ours? Genius was absolutely criticizing him on TNT Sports.
Well, you look at it, and the thing that got to me the most, which none of you mentioned, was it was in the last minute of injury time. It wasn't like it was in the 90th minute and we needed a penalty or a free kick. And I agree with you all. I can't stand diving through any team. If it's ours, I get even more pissed off because it should not be done.
Yeah.
It was the last minute before half time. Yes, we got to remember it's in James Madison territory now, and it's not like Harry Kane hitting the wall, whatever. It's a deadly area. But to do it just before half time, when, like you said, you've already picked up one yellow card. So if you do something stupid soon after, you're going to get done. I don't know what he was trying to achieve. And this is from a guy who, not just me on our channel, but every Spurs fan this season has been waxing lyrical about just how good he is. And if you get the credit, you deserve the criticism. Yeah. And for that act, he deserves a hell of a lot of it. I'll start the ratings off. I'm giving him a 3.
Other pundits as well, Brian, as well. They love him. A lot of people like Michael Richards, Gary Neville, they've all bigged him up this season, and it's a shame. Because
I'm giving him a 0. I'm giving
him a 0.
I agree.
Him a 0 because it's embarrassing what he did. That is embarrassing.
They agreed.
Alan?
Look, I was going to give him a 3 as well. I think I know it was embarrassing what he did, and he's got to take massive flack for that because of like I said, it wasn't even a crafty leaving a foot out or something like that. It was just embarrassing how bad an attempt it was, and it called rightfully by the referee and given the right punishment. But before, this is the thing. The stuff he was doing before, he was having another great game. He was bossing out midfield. And I was just thinking to myself, why ruin what you were doing at the start? So I would go 3 as well. But yeah, it was absolutely poor by him.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay, you're going to get Mr. Dejan Kulusevski, who is getting a lot of flack from the Tottenham Hotspur fan base. And do you think...
I thought you've missed out a midfielder.
Yeah.
Have I?
Matt.
Yes.
Has he?
You said Sarr. You said Bissouma.
Madison.
I've got Madison there. I've got he's next.
Oh god damn it! I was like, yes, I've got Madison.
All right, you can have Madison.
No. Do you know what? No, I will take Decky. Yeah. I will take Decky because I need to say this, especially when you said what you said. Now, this season at the start and the end of last season was like, this guy is not the player we bought. Now that could have been his injuries. That could have been the shit show the club was in. That could have been a host of reasons last season. And he started this season very, very predictable. Very, very same. I mean, it looked like players had worked him out. And I was getting frustrated. I would have liked to have seen him move central, maybe put him on the left, because I think he is a terrific player. I think he is an awesome player. But I thought the right wing now is in the right position with him, especially, obviously, he couldn't play on Saturday. Brennan Johnson being there. Whack him there, put Kulu somewhere else.
Yeah.
Then that stat came out about him running the furthest in the Premier League, which is an incredible stat. Obviously, we want him to do more, but it just shows his effort for the team. I think he was sensational against Luton. You remember, we were down to 10 men.
Yeah.
His hold-up play, his non-stop running with the ball and without the ball was fundamental to this victory. And I think the slack he's getting for the Luton game, I don't understand it. People got to realise when you're playing 10 men against 11 men, the game changes. When you're playing against a team like Luton, who have come up from the Premier, and I said it right this time, Luton are coming up, and they're playing a certain way. You've got to try and find answers to their questions.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for him, we don't get that win. I mean, serious, like we wouldn't have held on to the win. Let's put it that way. I think he was outstanding, terrific. I'm giving him Are we giving 0.5s here?
You can do.
Okay, this is our channel. I can give what I fucking well want.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not even gonna give him a half. I'm gonna give him a 7.75. Actually, no, I'm gonna give him an 8.25. Inflation. 8.25.
You must be the first person to ever give that kind of number in any kind of rating.
You've seen it first. Well, look at this show,
Jack. It's our rules.
Exactly.
I don't know what the rules are, but we're going to do it anyway.
8.25.
Now, Jack, you have
Matters.
And I'm just going to say the one thing about Matters, and then Jack, I'm not even going to talk about his game. We need to change his name to man who can find space in a phone box when a sumo wrestler is inside. Because this guy is just unbelievable. That's all I wanted to say about Matters. Off you go, Jack.
Again, I might get shut down for this. I think it was one of his more quiet games. I think, I don't know, is that a big comment? I think Decky played better than him. I think Mickey played better than him. Look, he wasn't bad. He wasn't awful. But which is probably a testament to how good he's been this season for us. I think he has had better games. Probably also because he keeps on getting smashed to pieces every game and he hasn't had a rest. I'd probably give him a 7. Yeah, I think Decky was better than him against Luton. Whether I'm sorry to go back onto Decky, but I just wonder if under Ange, maybe compared to Conte, if Decky's been asked to do a different type of role. To just scoring and assisting, maybe if it's just ball carrying, trying to get the ball into the box, into that dangerous area. Yeah, I would give Madison a 7, which is a testament. That's standard for him. But that is a testament. There is a testament to how good he's been this season for us.
Anyone else from Madison?
I'll just add one final thing. I don't know if Alan's got to say. What you got to remember with him is it may have only been a 7, and he may have been one of his quieter games. But one of his quieter games, we needed a bit of magic. We didn't know where it was going to come from. Bang! That assist, it's the same turn he did to Saka.
Yeah,
people just don't know what he's going to do, and that's it. If he's going to have, if he has a quiet game, and his quiet game includes assisting the winning goal, have as many quiet games as you want, my friend.
Exactly. There you go.
Yeah,
he needs a rest. He desperately needs a rest, and I think he's like I said before, he gets a lot of kicks, doesn't he?
Well, he's going to get plenty of rest because Southgate won't play him, so he's going to get plenty of rest.
Please God, that's what you got to hope, isn't it? That's what you got to hope.
Please, Gareth. Watch that clown Gareth Southgate now playing both games in
90 minutes each game. Alan, you're going to get the man of the hour. You're getting Richarlison.
So look, Richarlison for me gets a 0, and I'll be honest. Look. Yes, he got pulled for that first one, but his body shape was all out of position before that hit. The second one as well. He is going to be the detriment to this team because his confidence is whack. His touch is awful. He gets himself in the wrong position. I just don't see what he brings to this team. Yes, he scored a goal against Sheffield United, but it was one of them like the header, the instinct finish. When you're asking him to do something and be cool, composed on the ball, I think he's all out of sorts. Look, I think he stops. He gets in the way. I don't think he brings much to this team. I think we could do better than him. I know we've got injuries. I think if we didn't have the injuries, I think he'd be a bench player.
Correct.
and
give minutes here and there. Look, I wish him all the best, but he's not what Spurs need for the way we're going in this club. And we need to fix this problem as soon as possible because for me, I just don't think. Look, I'm not saying he can't play football because he can, but for Spurs, for the amount we paid for him and all that, it's just been a waste.
We need a striker desperately, but I wouldn't get rid of him. I'd keep him on. I think he's a great player. Whether he would want to is another question, but he's a great player to bring off the bench, especially next season if we're in the Europa League or Champions League. He's not a bad player to have as a rotation. But I disagree with your point, Alan, where you said he gets into the wrong position. I'd actually say he gets into all the good positions, but he can't score and he can't finish the chances.
Yeah, I would disagree because I've seen him in so many times where you say if he's in the right position, then more often than not, he could just walk on and hit it first time. The amount of time he's got the ball stuck under his feet and tripped over the ball because he's in the wrong.
I disagree. Think about how he was in four. Changed the title to Heated Debate. Luton, he had 3 or 4 very good chances to score, missed. Sheffield, it's not Sheffield United. Liverpool, I can remember 2-3 where he had 2-3 good chances. I think it is just a matter of he can't finish his dinner. He gets all the right chances, he gets all the service, but he hasn't got confidence.
When you're 60 million and you're meant to be the main man after the main man goes, and there's been plenty of times where he's got the ball stuck under his feet and he's been in the wrong position and he's been literally completely confused himself in regards to getting the shot off. I just don't see what any.
Yeah, no, he's not good. I don't disagree with you,
Alan. I'll just add to that. Obviously, we know how he came, and it was an opportunity to come to the football club. Because Everton needed the money. I'm kind of torn with this because I thought games like Sheffield United, where he came on and did what he did, and Luton are the exact bread and water drinks for him. Powerful, dominating teams where he can use his strength. And every time he starts showing glimpses like he did in Liverpool, he did in Sheffield United, and they were glimpses. And then you think, right, push on. And this is the game. I think Luton was more made for him to be in the centre than Sonny or Velise.
I think the problem is as well, Brian. No one knows his best position yet.
Exactly. And listen, Alan, he's running out. I agree.
Doesn't know his best position. Richarlison.
Yeah,
no
You're right. He's running. He is running out of time. And if you look at it, like you said, when Brennan Johnson is back, I thought Decky's position was really, really under threat. Because obviously we were playing Solomon or whoever went on the left, Perisic. But I think now once Brennan Johnson is back, that front three is Kulu, Son, Brennan Johnson. Richie's on the bench. And like Jack said, hopefully he can have the kind of impact from the bench. And he's only got himself to blame that he's on the bench.
I'd like to see Johnson through the middle. I can't, to be honest with you. I know that's not where he gets played predominantly. But
I actually want to see Johnson on the right and Kulu on the left.
Yeah, that's what I want to say. That's what I want to say.
Yeah.
Interesting.
At least we have a new title for the show this week. Green Socks and the Mustard Wall.
Heated debate.
That is the title of the stream.
You're turning into Sky.
He's got rid of his green socks. Where's it gone? I just keep the mustard ball regardless.
You see?
The green socks flip and flop out of the stream when they want. But now we're going to go to the final player of the starting 11. We've got Sonny. I'll take Sonny because I love Sonny so much. But this was the wrong game for him to be in the centre. He's not got the strength to go up against defenders that are physical.
The championship defenders.
He should have been off the left or off the right. He should have got that space so he can get the ball and shoot from distance. He had some chances and he missed the target and he wasn't getting the ball after Bissouma got sent off. But this was a really quiet game for him. I'm going to give him a 6 because I wasn't happy with his performance at all. But I don't think he's totally fit either after having a groin strain. He was literally forced to play this game because the only other option is Richarlison at the moment. We've got so many injuries, but it was a quieter performance, and he could do much better. But let's hope. Jurgen, we're speaking to you in the camera, Jurgen. Jurgen, please don't play him 90 minutes both games. Please don't do it. You're
he said that he was going to give him a rest. I saw someone said
he
on
said
Twitter.
He will play, but he won't. Yeah, he said he won't play, but he won't play everything. But I just want to embellish. Well, why am I using this word embellish all of a sudden? I don't know. I don't know.
Trying to keep up. You're
But
trying to keep
listen,
up.
what I'm trying to get, what I'm trying to get, the way I can describe what I'm trying to get is obviously we've got this squad now, which is meant to be used or should be used or could be used for rotation, and you play your best team to play the team ahead and what you think is the best players to play. It's like with a knife, fork, and spoon. If I gave you a bowl of soup and a fork, you'd be like, well, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm not going to eat this soup with a fork. I need a spoon. And if I gave you, it's Thanksgiving here. If I gave you a turkey right now and said, right, carve this turkey for me, and I gave you a fork, you'd be like, well, what are you doing? It's the wrong tool. It's the wrong utensil to be using. I need a knife. And this is what we've got to look at. There's certain games. I used to say this all the time with Rafa van der Vaart, who I adored and worshipped and think is a magician. But every single time we played Stoke, he got absolutely battered. It was like Stoke weren't the game for your tricks, your flicks, your time on the ball. It was the wrong player to have from the start in that kind of position. Yeah. And for me, Sonny, especially with his knock, this would have been the perfect time to even have put Melise up front and keep Richarlison on the left and say,
he looked good when he came on.
Mate, I think that would have been my solution. Obviously, Angelo's a lot better and obviously we got the win. But then that would have given Son the rest he needed. If he needed to come on, you bring him on against a tiring Luton, where space will be more at a premium. I agree with you, Ben. I think it was just the wrong get. Listen, he looked good at start and was getting involved. But obviously, Ange knows best. But I would have had Melise and Richarlison and given, only due to his injury, a little bit of a rest.
Would you rest Sonny against Fulham?
No.
And play Melise maybe?
No. Not at home. Not at home. No.
At home.
By Fulham.
That's really, because if it was away, I'd say otherwise. But at home, where the odds are more with us, and you could probably get away with starting someone like Velez, whatever his name is.
But remember, Jack, there's no Bissouma, so there's no midfield driver.
Yeah. I think
we're going to have to
look, I understand people saying got knocks and all that, but guys, we were craving and we were all saying like waxing lyrical about this one game a week, and now we've got one game a week and we're doing well, and people are like, oh, we need to rest players. If we were playing in Europe and that, then you got to rotate and stuff like that. But let's be honest, these players didn't play in the game against Fulham, and we went out of that cup, so they've not even played an extra game so far. Some of them may have come on for minutes. We don't play FA Cup until January, so literally we are playing every 7 days until December. So yeah, for me, it's you got to play your. But he's doing the right thing. He's actually not running them into the ground and playing 90 minutes. They're coming off at like 60, 70 minutes, so they're getting rest there. So this whole let's rest players and all that. No, we haven't got the luxury of that. We need to play the starting 11.
Where are South Korea playing? Are they playing in Korea?
They're playing against Tunisia and they're playing against Vietnam.
Yeah, but are they both in Korea?
I'm not sure.
Well, one is definitely in Korea. Maybe the other's in Vietnam.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tunisia's definitely in Korea. Maybe Vietnam, but Vietnam are. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, what did you give him, Ben? The 6.
The 6.
Yeah, I agree.
It was a quieter performance for him.
Yeah.
Right. We're not going to go through all the substitutes because we'll be here all day. We're only really going to talk about the new debutant, but those are the substitutes. We got Davis, Mr. Emerson. Højbjerg was very decent, I thought.
That's one player you need. Højbjerg was incredible.
Yep. Perfect substitution. You bring on someone to calm down the midfield, control the game. He has that experience, obviously. Whether you like him or not, I'm not a fan of him, so I'll put it out there. But it was a perfect substitution. 10-man down. That type of game is made for him.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Just to make people aware, both are in South Korea, by the way, both games.
All right, look at our researcher. Well done on the spot journalism.
Guys, in the comments, I've done my duties. I'm off. See you later.
At your service, sir. But I like the performance of Feliz Navidad. I'm going to use that.
I was singing it in the Scotland Yard.
Yeah.
I got the Scotland Yard singing it.
Yeah, you've got to sing it that way. But I liked his performance. He only got a short cameo, but he's showing a bit of quality so far. Anyone got some comments?
Agreed.
Small little cameo, but he made himself a chance, which he could have probably scored on another day, or if that was a better player. I'd like to see him play more. I don't see why I don't see, with all the injuries we've got at the moment, why he isn't any better than what we've got already in terms of Richie.
Correct.
How old is he? How old is he? 20?
18, I think.
Yeah, 19.
Oh, he's 18.
Let's have a
In
look.
my opinion, just double check before I say something.
I'm checking right now for you.
Let's say I think he's 20.
Let's have a look. He is 20. He's 20. He's 20.
He's 20. And I've 1 second.
He's 20.
He's 20. I would like to see him start. I think at 20 years old, there is no reason why a player like him can't start. You look at all the youngsters around the world, and at 19, 18, they all get started. So I know he's moved from Argentina, where it's probably a big shock to him. But if he's as good as everyone says he is, surely there is no reason why he can't start making more impact off the bench.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
As much as I don't want to see Richarlison's team, I can't. I'm backing Big Ange, and so far he's making the correct call and getting.
You're right.
Yeah.
So as long as that continues, I'm all for it. I think. Look, I want to see youngsters. I want to see people get game time. I want to see some of the times like Phillips get some game time. I want to see some of the youngsters, Donnelly and Dorrington and all that. But I don't want them to run before they can walk. Just if we're winning games and you can get them more used to the pace of it, give him minutes, or like getting used to him tactically and how he wants to set up and all that. If they're not quite getting it, give him more time. Then hopefully in the future that will just be beneficial for them to come in and be, seamless transition. Whereas I think before now, if you throw them in and they're not 100% and you see a massive drop off, then people are like, oh, they're a bitch. And you know what the Spurs fan base is like? Sometimes can be very toxic in the fact that if somebody doesn't, they're like, oh, awful, get rid and all that. I think you need to just a little bit of time for the transition to.
Yeah, but we have a tendency to just waste a lot of talent, young talent. I mean, it's been some of them have been correct decisions, but we all got annoyed about Dylan Markandé going out. I mean, it was probably the right decision on all these players, but I don't see any reason, Alan, why at 20 he can't start. Not start maybe, but can't, why isn't any better than Richie? I look at youngsters around the world. I'm not saying he's Jude Bellingham level or Saka level, but obviously not. But these players come in at 17, 18 and start, and they prove their worth, prove why they should start. And I think me and Brian I know Brian said it, and I definitely said it at Fulham. I would have rather lost playing youngsters than played with us.
I have to agree with you to a point in regards to we've basically misused youngsters before, but this is before Ange. Ange is not the same as other managers. These have been wasted by Conte, by Mourinho. I won't even class Nuno because shouldn't even be it. Even Pochettino has misused youngsters. He never really get, So again, until we get down the line to see what happens with these youngsters, if we get a year or two in this, like history repeating itself, then however good our youngsters are doing it, we're literally doomed to fail to transition them from the youth team through to the first team. But as it's standing now, I understand you want to see these young players, and obviously, we could have a sensation on our hands. But at the moment, the sensation of the Spurs is the team we're playing with, getting the results on the pitch. So I'm all for continuing that. I agree. Maybe if he does make these changes sooner, as early as he has been, maybe in some games he can bring a Veliz on earlier than the last 5 minutes. But I think the more he gets used to what Ange is wanting on and off the pitch over the season, I think he'll get more and more minutes. And when, later on in the season, when a Son's coming off in the 65th, 70th minute because he's running himself into the ground, you'll probably see Veliz come in and Richarlison be an afterthought.
Question, Alan, though. From what you've seen of him so far, Veliz, of the short 10 minutes, would you say he's done better than Richie? From the 2 years or year we've seen of Richie.
Sample size, nowhere near enough for sample size.
Exactly. I think.
But Ben, that tells me all I need to know, in my opinion.
No.
The fact that you have to say, it's not enough sample size, shows how bad how bad Rich is compared to.
This is one for another time. The mustard wall and the green socks can argue another time.
I'm making a good debate. I'm giving you the clickbait title, Ben. That's all I'm doing.
Do you know what? What we'll do? I'll tell you now. On the Monday, pre-recorded Cockerel Doodle Doo after Fulham, you two are coming on.
Fair enough.
Richarlison and Valise will probably have played some part, and we'll start the fucking show with that exact debate.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear what Johnny has to say about it.
Hold on. I don't like the way this debate's being framed when I've literally just panned Richarlison. I'm not a Richarlison fan.
No.
It's just we have to end the show. We've been going an hour.
Alan, what I'm saying is literally, obviously we're talking sample size, whatever. Valise could come on and score a couple of goals. And it's like, oh, wait a minute. Maybe there is something. Or he could come on and have an absolute stinker.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, what the hell was... So we'll have to see. But we are going to wrap it up because my tablet is about to die in not very long. So, first of all, thank you for joining us. Jack, where can people find you?
Probably on just this channel or nowhere else. Or in Twitter Spaces. I go on a lot of Johnny's Twitter Spaces. Alan sometimes does them, or Anna's YouTube as well sometimes. Yeah. But yeah.
There we go. And the Mustard Wall. The Mustard Wall, co-hosted by Alan. We finally made it. First of many times you're going to come on the channel. Yeah, where can people find you? Talk about your great channel that we've all been on.
First of all, thank you very much for having me on. Obviously, I've not been on before. Thank you very much for having me. Guys who are watching this, obviously subscribe and smash a like on his stream because it's a great channel, great content, and obviously great guests. And I'm joking, Jack. I love you. Really. We're going out. It's fine. We're going out. It's fine. No, it's all good. People can find me on my channel. Time added on. You've all been the guests on that show. You're all welcome anytime to talk anything Spurs. This week, because of the international break, I will be doing some shows with rivals, basically one-on-one, how their season's going and how we're going and all that. Maybe a debate and all that. I'm thinking the Liverpool one's going to be quite a heated thing because of what happened. Because some Liverpool fans still can't let it go. But
no. Oh no! Oh no!
It's making a return.
Oh no, Alan! They're replaying the stream. Oh no, they're having to replay the stream. We almost went an entire stream without a VAR check.
We did.
That's where you can find me. Time added on, obviously, with content coming in about with rival fans this week, plus any news that drops with Spurs. Hopefully, no injuries, but just like what obviously, like if we're linked to anyone or like anything happens with potential, players getting a chance from the youth going up to the first team or anything that breaks, then it'll be that. But it'll be pretty much shows with against rival fans as well. So make sure you join me there. And obviously, guys, you're always welcome.
Thank you, sir.
You can find myself on the Coffee Company as well whenever this stream goes live. 2 p.m. as usual and 3:30 on a Wednesday. Join over there for your usual pace of chill where we don't talk anything about anything and we talk chocolate bars. But thank you all so much for watching today's video. We will be back very, very soon. We'll be doing something. Probably Wednesday we'll do something. But thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you smell what the cough is brewing, and take it away, Aki.
And as always, Levy out. Tottenham talk.